and 2 dogs.
Sorry, go ahead.
And yeah, I had my son who was on the way. He was already like 15 days past his due date. And I was like, I don't even want to clean with my own cleaners. So they make me feel sick. And I'm already pregnant and sick enough. And it was terrible. So I saw the Thieves line on the Young Living website. And I was like, that seems like a good investment. It's made out of plants. I got a bunch of animals. Soon baby. I was like, maybe getting rid of the chemicals would be a good idea.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and that's such a great thing. I know for me, my background is I was an emerge nurse for 15 years, and I was very sort of entrenched in the medical community. And I I really didn't see, if I'm really honest, the value of natural things. And I didn't really ask questions, which I know seems weird. Because you think as nurses, you're always thinking about health and wellness. But and that's not to say that medicine and all of that stuff is bad. I'm not saying that at all. But I don't know, like I found that we generally speaking sort of roll our eyes in the natural realm of things quite often as nurses. And so for me, I actually wasn't even questioning it when I had my first 2 babies. And even by the time I was pregnant with my third, and my best friend Dana was using oil. She gave me some for different things. We were like sick all of the time. And it was actually that season in my life where I had 2 babies and another one on the way. I had 3 in just under 3.5 years. And and we were so sick all the time is where I actually sort of felt like we needed to do something. And but not about natural cleaners and stuff at all. So I love that you were like thinking about it and you're like, these cleaners make me feel sick and I should get rid of them. And it's funny because I think oftentimes people are really worried about this line for their pets, but you were thinking like, it's made out of plants. I want this for my pets. And that's so true. This stuff is all perfectly safe for pets. Like Christina said, she's got lots of pets. We have a dog. I have diffused anything and everything next to our hamster cage. I know I have friends with cats and dogs, and they all do really, really well with the Thieves line. So that is not a concern at all. But it was actually after oils worked so well for my family that I started thinking, maybe I underestimated this natural lifestyle. And the more I learned about what our bodies need, and the more I sort of dove into it and looked at it more from a whole body wellness perspective, I started being able to pick out the signs of like what was happening in our world and in our bodies and in people. Every time I was at work, I was like, oh boy, like there is like an exceptionally high incidence of like respiratory issues and asthma and like lung issues and skin issues and cancer rates are through the roof. And I started realizing that what I was learning was I was seeing in practice. And I started actually kind of taking like more stock in that. So that was kind of for me. So I love that you were like, yes, I'm all in. I was a lot thicker than you because I would diffuse candles and wax burners and stuff, not diffuse, burn candles and wax burners in my house. And I would literally feel nauseous and headachy. And it never one time actually occurred to me that that was not good for my body. I was like, oh, well, I just like how it smells. And now I recognize the error of my ways. And so when you use these products in your home, do you, what's your favorite Thieves product?
My favorite Thieves product, I have to say, is either the laundry detergent or the household cleaner.
Okay.
Because I love that the laundry detergent doesn't really foam, so I can run it through my steam cleaner.
Oh, Cool.
and it sucks all the dirt out of my couch. Like I got a beige couch, so it gets gross. You can see
Yeah.
it's kind of nasty. I can go over it once with laundry detergent in my steam cleaner, and it's back to being beige, like no stains.
Wow. That's so cool. I have literally never heard that. And that's the funnest part of these classes and doing them with someone else is that somebody always has something. I suspect you could probably also use the Thieves household cleaner for that, but the laundry detergent is formulated especially for like fabric. So it makes total sense that it would work so well. I'm just going to talk about a couple of reasons about why we need, why we care about making these changes and choosing something that's not just your everyday run-of-the-mill cleaners. So when I just assumed, sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. I just assumed that when I went to the store and I bought something on the shelf, that it was safe for us. And if it wasn't safe, why would it be on the shelf? And so it was shocking to me when I discovered that that actually isn't the case, which I mean, I guess on some level, you know that because most cleaners have like poison labels on the bottle and you don't let your kids drink them. And I don't know about you, but I had busy toddlers when I got cleaner, and I know that Christina has an exceptionally busy toddler right now. And so there's something really, really amazing about knowing that the things in your house, even if he does get a hold of them, are safe. So and back in the 70s, the US, they made the Toxic Control Substance Act. And they basically grandfathered in like 68,000 chemicals and never really bothered to test them. So in Canada, though, in 1999, we made the Canadian Environmental Protection Act. They brought in like 23,000 chemicals into that act. And they claim that I shouldn't say they claim, that doesn't sound fair, but anyway, they say that they tested all 23,000 of them, and only 4,000 of the 23,000 needed classification as dangerous. So when I looked up a bunch of the other ones that are not classified as dangerous, like I just looked them up. I found them on the government website. So I got all this information from the government website and I looked them up, and even the ones that are not listed as dangerous or classified, when I checked them on like the environmental working group and just looked up their chemical names, they basically almost all said they caused, they went from toxic to reproduction, fatal if on skin, or at the very least allergens. So, and one of the studies I read said they actually had to kill more than 50% of the rats that they were testing it on to actually get a danger label on them. So I don't know about you, but that seems like a really high threshold to me. So, so this is what's on our shelves and on our products, and they're not really looking for ways to make us safer. In fact, glyphosate, which is in Roundup, is something that we use on our crops, and they spray it. It's a like pesticide for crops. And there's a limit. And I don't know about you, but I don't want any Roundup in my Cheerios. But there actually is an acceptable limit for it, and it's fairly high. It's quite a bit higher than even like the European Union accepts. And Health Canada recently was actually trying to increase the limit, not decrease it, like 4 times, I think, higher or something. It's crazy. So there was a petition and you could sign it. And so they paused that. But it just sort of showed me that Health Canada isn't actually looking out for us. Almost everything is full of fragrance. And I love that you were talking, Christina, about being pregnant and not wanting to use stuff, because the Environmental Defense Group actually did tests on some babies, and they tested the cord blood of babies for 310 chemicals, and they found 137 of them in the cord blood of babies. So it's very important that we pay attention, because this stuff is building up in our bodies, and our bodies just don't know how to get rid of it. And so oftentimes things like infertility, cancer rates are up to 1 in 2 in Canadians, like 1 in 2. Isn't that crazy? Asthma rates are through the roof. Infertility is 1 in 6. All of these things build up, and our bodies, they get stuck on the receptors of our cells, and we don't know how to clean them out. And so it's like you're fine until you're not fine, because just like you wouldn't mix bleach with like some cleaners because it makes like a toxic gas, inside our bodies we can build these things up, and then that's when you can start to get things like all kinds of autoimmune issues, skin issues, like breathing issues, asthma, all of these things. So it's really, really, really important. And most household cleaners have fragrance in them, which is terrible. And they did a study in 14 homes where they increased, or they did cleaning, and then they tested for, they're called VOCs. So they're called volatile organic compounds. Those are just bad things in cleaners. And in the 14 homes that they tested, 9 homes with conventional cleaners had 120% increase in the VOCs in the air, so poor air quality, 120% increase, which is well over like the acceptable limit. They had 3 products that were like a full disclosure of what was in them, labeled like green products, and it only jumped 35%. And then they had 2 products, like Clorox Greenworks being one of them, so it's like owned by Clorox, but it's Greenworks, and they don't disclose what's on their bottle, and it increased by 100%. So it just goes to show you need to be very careful. Even green products aren't necessarily safer or better. So basically a environmental allergist, immunologist out of Texas essentially said, products intended to keep our homes fresh and safe, and our laundry products and our cleaning products can set people up for a lifetime of chemically induced illness, and repeated exposure to small amounts of household chemicals can trigger symptoms of previously tolerated chemicals. So that just shows us that we need to stop now and do better. And then that way it's safer for us. So I know when I used to have Tide Pods, and my boys would fight over who could put it in the washer. And anyway, so they would throw in the Tide Pod, but when I was working in the Emerge one day, we had a 2-year-old that had actually squirted a Tide Pod into his eyes, and we had to wrap him in blankets like a little mummy and flush his eyes for hours while he screamed and screamed and screamed. And it was awful for his parents, and it was awful for him. It was awful for the staff. And all I could think was not how could they, but that easily could have been us, right? The boys are fighting over a Tide Pod, they pop it, squirts in somebody's eyes. And so I know for me, I love the idea of safe chemicals. So do you find Dante wants to help you all the time?
Dante does help me all the time, actually. Every time he makes a mess, I don't have my chemical cupboard under my kitchen sink locked up anymore because I only have 1 bottle of Thieves in there. Yeah. And every time he makes a mess, he'll go and grab the spray bottle, and he'll just like start spraying everything. Yes. Like it's dirty, it must be cleaned.
Yeah.
And I'm actually like really glad, because I just learned another really disturbing fact about chemicals a couple days ago. There is enough toxins left over from cleaning with the regular household chemical, and that it lasts up to 72 hours on a regular wear and tear surface. So you can clean your kitchen counter one day, and then that same amount of chemicals is still on your kitchen counter 72 hours later.
Yes, isn't that crazy? And you're cutting up food, you're doing things like we all disinfect with bleach for like chicken So there's videos, I have to find them. I can post the link, but anyway, it talks about, it shows somebody swabbing like a counter after they've used chicken or done chicken on the counter, and they use Thieves. And I would honestly take this bottle of Thieves and like drink it if I like, no, I wouldn't. Okay. I wouldn't do that, but I could do that. And all it would do was give me a stomach ache or whatever. Like it's so safe. And so I love using that. So I don't know, you said that already, that it's one bottle in your house, that's it. So why do we love it? Is because Young Living has a seed to seal promise. So that is for their oils. Nothing is contaminated with chemicals or pesticides. Everything is full disclosure. All of their oils are completely plant-based. They're distilled properly. They're grown like with the utmost of standards, and all of their cleaning products are the same. So everything that you see on the label is exactly what's in this bottle. It is all plant-based. Everything is tested and rigorously tested again and again and again, and it's so good for your body. What is like one of your very favorite like seed to seal standards that you like always like to talk about?
My favorite one would have to be the fact that they are tested more than once. Like they are tested for anything wrong with them while they're being distilled. And then once they're bottled, they're also tested once again. And then once that's done, then they're like, okay, we'll ship it off now. It's good.
Totally. I know. I love that. And we could talk about seed to seal forever. So I know Christina talked about the cleaner. So it comes in this bottle. And but this bottle is actually all you need is one capful of this in a spray bottle. I should have grabbed one, like a 500 ml spray bottle, and you fill it with water, and then that's it. Most of us that use these products love oils too. So most people don't just use the cleaners, but maybe you just, I had a friend that was like, you know what, I can't get behind oils yet, but I can get behind that kind of cleaning. And so she didn't, but we have all kinds of oils. So you can, I like adding peppermint to mine or lemon. Right now it's like pumpkin spice season. So I'll add like nutmeg, clove, cinnamon, and it makes my cleaner smell like, it smells kind of cinnamony anyway, because Thieves has that in it. Thieves has rosemary, rosemary, clove, lemon, eucalyptus, and cinnamon. So it has a bit of that smell, but this just enhances it. So it's like cleaning your house and making it smell like a pumpkin spice candle, which is amazing. Do you have any favorite oils for your cleaners?
I put citrus fresh. I don't know, just everything about the citrus. I already hate cleaning, so I'm like all the feel good oils.
Yes, that's such a good point too. All the citrus oils just are so good for your brain too. And they make it smell so fresh. It's like that amazing fresh like lemon smell without like the lemon pine sol chemical smell that is so gross. So this bottle will make you like 30 bottles of cleaner. So it actually works out to something like $1.
Like 18 cents.
Yeah, like something, I guess it's under $1 per bottle. So it's actually super affordable. And we use this for every surface: toilets, counters, sinks, windows. There's different concentrations on the bottle for different things. I'll even take baking soda and add this to make almost like a paste. And then that gives you just a little extra scrub for your tub, for your sinks, just to make them shine. But this is literally all you need. And some people are just like, well, I don't know, like my toilets. I can show you a video of a swab on a toilet where it came out clean after. So super cool. So you talked about the laundry soap, using it on your couch, doesn't super foam up. Do you dilute yours at all?
I do. I take my laundry soap and I split it into 3 bottles.
Awesome. Do you put anything else in it when you split it?
No, I just take the 1 bottle, I split it into 3. Sometimes I'll add a couple drops of oil, and then I just top up with warm water and gently mix it.
Totally. I usually do that as well. Sometimes I'll just do 2 bottles, especially if I have like an extra one of these, and then I just do 2 so I have them on the shelf. But I also add a capsule or 2 of the Thieves household cleaner just for a little extra like stain removing power. But you only need like,
I'm terrible. I just take my Thieves cleaner while I'm putting stuff in the washer, and I'm like, oh, stain in the wash.
yes, totally. So like this lid, so you can measure it. If you have a front loader or high efficiency, you only need like 1.5 teaspoons. And I don't have that. And I'll probably only fill this up to about here. And it's so thick that the dilution is actually really nice, because then you hardly need any. So it actually pours out of the cap a little bit easier too. But this bottle lasts us, our family of 5. When I split it in half, it lasted us. Well, the last one I had lasted me for like 2 days, because Brielle made a slip and slide out of the entire bottle in the laundry room at the start of COVID. So that was not very fun. But then the next bottle lasted us for 7 months, like 7 months for this bottle. And you look at it and you're like, no, there's no way. But anyway, it lasts us for so long. So it's actually extremely affordable. And when you think about the fact that everything you're washing is touching your skin forever, then you like your sheets, your clothes, like it's all on your body. And so I know my son had eczema all over his body when we first got into Young Living. And with eczema, there's a lot of different things that can be factors. So for us, frankincense and lavender in coconut oil was like pure magic for it. But then also swapping this stuff out and using different laundry soap, different cleaners, all of that stuff not touching his skin, he has never had another issue. And I know it's because of our cleaners. So if you're watching on the essentials page, or yeah, you're not on here because it's just us. Comment if you've never tried Thieves cleaner, because I have a few like samples, and then I can send them to you in the mail or drop them off for you if you're local, if you want to try this. So comment below if you want to. What do you think of the dish soap? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
I wasn't the biggest fan of the dish soap for like the first year. I hated it.
Yeah.
And then lots of people split it into 3, and that's what I was trying to do. And I just found if I just split it into 2 and add like a cap of cleaner to each bottle and then just a bunch of citrus oil, I'm like, I can handle this. I like it. And you have to use a microfiber cloth. If you use like a sponge or something, it just streaks.
Okay, interesting. I just use it straight up. Actually, I don't dilute this at all. For me, and everyone's different. And this does not foam up like regular dish soap. We were away on a trip on the weekend, and they had just regular like Sunlight dish soap at the condo we were staying in, and I hated it.
Now, oh, it's so slimy in the water now.
Yes. Oh, it's so gross. But anyway, bubbles in cleaners are actually just a chemical that they used to use as a heavy engine degreaser in the war times. And so it's called SLS. But it's actually what they add to all cleaners as a filler, because it's so cheap. It has 0 cleaning value, but all of us have been triggered to believe that the bubbles equal clean. And so these, the bubbles actually don't. It's actually a very powerful toxin that you do not need. And so it's a very weird thing to use something and retrain your brain. I like this because sometimes if my dishwasher is just being a bit of a jerk, I can put a little bit of this in too, and it doesn't cause like the overwhelming bubbles that would happen if you put this in like a regular dish soap in your dishwasher. But I put mine in a wand, in a dish wand, and then I just use that with hot water, and I don't usually fill up my sink. I just use the dish wand because I mostly just wash but I find this to be literally the best degreaser the dish soap that I have ever used, but I know everybody has to find their way, but I've had a few people that say once they put it in a dish wand and just use it that way, that makes them feel better.
I should totally try that.
Do you use the Thieves hand soap?
Yes, I do actually, and it works as a bubble bath.
Oh, fun. Which is funny because generally do you find the bubbles last?
They last long enough for a toddler.
Right, fair enough. These bottles, I divide these in 3 as well. So if you don't have another one, they come with a pump, and it's a foaming pump, and which is great because the slippery, like soft soap that comes out, that you get it in your hand and then your kid just washes it all off before they even like scrub their hands together. I love foaming pumps, but I'll just put the rest in a jar and then I'll put it off to the side and then I fill it with water. So you can get 3 soaps out of this. Smells great. Again, you can add other oils if you want other scent. But when you think about like my hands, because especially with COVID times and then winter in general, your hands get so dried out so fast. And my kids wash their hands all the time, obviously at home too, but their hands are never dry until they go back to school. And then they're using some of the school, like harsh school soaps, and they get cracked knuckles and all of those fingers. Like, it's so sad. This stuff is amazing at not drying out your hands. And once you go with this, you'll never go back. There is a fruit and veggie spray. You can also buy a fruit and veggie wash. Christina, do you use the fruit and veggie wash?
I have tried the spray, but I honestly haven't tried the actual wash itself.
Okay. So, the spray is great because I like to spray my things as I use them as opposed to like before I put them in the fridge. But now that my kids blast through so much fruit and stuff and they can just grab it, they're big enough now to get it out of the fridge. You can put a capful of the veggie wash in your sink and put all of your produce in there or your apples or whatever, and then just put them in the fridge. They're clean, they're ready for your kids. It's so great. And it doesn't taste, it gets all the yucky stuff off the outside of your fruit. Toothpaste, do you use any of the toothpastes?
Yeah, I use the whitening toothpaste.
Okay. This is the Aroma Bright. So there is a kit, there is a Thieves kit that you can get that comes with all of these things we're talking about, plus a Thieves oil and a diffuser and this Aroma Bright toothpaste. But there's 3 different kinds of Young Living toothpaste, and one is a whitening one, and that's kind of the top favorite. Makes your teeth super white and lovely. Aroma Bright is, my kids like it. It's a little bit sweeter. It definitely is minty, but it's not as strong as the other one. But so you can get a whole kit, or you can get just sort of 1 or 2 things that you need. That's kind of why I'm going through all this. Tell me that you love it. The hand sanitizer.
I love the hand sanitizer so much.
Yes. So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like COVID helped us find out what every sanitizer on earth is like, because every place on earth has sanitizer at the front door. So my kids started telling me that they were not using sanitizer unless I had this in my pocket. So you can get a big bottle and then you can just refill the little ones, but fit in your pocket really beautifully.
This has lasted me a year and a half, filling up so many of the little bottles.
Yes, it goes and goes. It's like almost like magic, isn't it? Like you're just like, how is it not emptying this bottle? But you don't need a ton. It is actually on the Health Canada list for COVID friendly hand sanitizers. It uses a plant-based alcohol, so it doesn't dry out your hands like other sanitizers, and it does not leave any of that sticky hand sanitizer residue on your hands at all.
Like a moisturizer.
Yeah, I know. Like my hands feel great. Like since I started using this stuff, my hands feel amazing, considering how often we have to use them. So I don't want to actually keep you because I'm trying to tell you all of these good things. And Christina and I are trying to share all of our tips, but we also don't want to go too long either. So if you, I wish I can't see comments, so then I wish I could actually answer your questions, but if you have any questions, put them in the comments, because other people are watching too, can help you, or I can go back after. So the beauty with Young Living is that I buy all of this stuff on my own monthly wellness box. We call it Essential Rewards. And you can order what you need for your home, and you can get, for the first 3 months, you get 10% back, and then it jumps up to 20. So if you think when you go to Walmart and you needed like laundry soap, Thieves soap, something for pain, which Young Living has, like oils for that. They even have pain creams and stuff, but maybe you need that. Maybe you need some shampoo. Maybe you need some face wash. I don't know about you, but I go to Walmart and I need one thing and I come out with like 15 and it costs me $150 anyway. But if I was to go to Walmart and spend $200 and I would get nothing for free and I would get no points back. I would just get what I needed. But Young Living's program is you change your order every month for what you need for your home. So you're not buying extra, you're just buying what you need from a place that you trust. And then you actually get, say you get 20% back. Well, that would be $40 on $200 order. You would get $40 in points to exchange for free stuff, whatever you want. And then you would also get up to probably $120 worth of free product, because every month they change the freebies. And so there's with 100, 190, 250, and 300 PV, point value, you get free stuff. So you basically come away with like probably almost as much value in free stuff and points as you also get your freebies, and you get it to your door. It's shipped to you. You don't have to drag toddlers kicking and screaming through the parking lot at Walmart. You know, your kids aren't asking you for 27 extras while you're there. It actually saves, it honestly saves me money in the end. And I started with Young Living when I had 3 kids in 5-point harnesses, and I wasn't going literally anywhere. I always joked at the time, if they made tampons and diapers, I would never leave my house ever again. I would order my groceries and I would order my Young Living, and I would never have to leave the house. So they have a program where you can get all the things that you need in your house to your door, safe for you, safe for your kids, safe for your pets. We're getting rid of the body burden. We're decreasing our chances of things like, I'm not saying we're getting rid of them altogether, but we are decreasing our chances of infertility and cancer and decreasing our immune systems. And we are literally building our bodies up and creating a strong, healthy body with these products, which I love. So Christina, do you have anything else that you just have to tell these people?
Actually, I think we covered everything except for Thieves, the Thieves oil. You guys, there's this cool test that they did in regards to different cleaners versus like the Thieves line. You should totally check it out. I got the whole link and everything. I can put it up in the essentials group.
I did put one link up that showed like a graphic too of comparing it to some stuff.
Yeah, like the Petri dishes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so amazing and it's so good. And this oil, you just need it in your house anyway with a diffuser, because if you're feeling under the weather, you want to be diffusing this. Like it's actually shown, not with every single virus or bacteria, but it has actually shown with some to decrease the airborne bacteria of some different types up to 96%. It varies depending on what they tested it on, but it's huge. And it makes such a big difference in your house if you're just not feeling great. It's just so powerful. So anyway, so we can hook you up with a whole cleaning kit. We can hook you up with a little bit of what you need, but it's definitely worth every cent. You can make it last. And I will never go back. I love that I can trust them. And I wished that I had known this sooner. Like sometimes I feel like I don't want people to feel like I'm forcing them to come to a class. And then I think to myself, but I would actually cry to think that I didn't know this still. And if somebody hadn't shared with me. So I am grateful you were here. I am grateful to Christina. We were kind of talking about how much we were going to talk, not versus not talk. And she's like, well, I'm just getting better, but you didn't cough once. So that was like, that was a big step.
Not gonna lie, I totally went against doctor's orders here and I skipped my inhalers today because they're full of steroids and they make my lungs like, so like I like skipped them and I was like, I'm not gonna be hacking up a lung later.
Anyway,
I'll take them after this though, it'll be fine.
Perfect. Okay, so anyway, thanks so much, Christina, for joining us. And I hope that you guys on the essentials page and comment if you need or want to try some Thieves cleaner. So anyway, you guys have a good night. Thanks, Christina.
Bye. Thank you.